pusher. You are moving with purpose. You are speaking with purpose. Pusher, we are healing out loud with you. Don't stop pushing forward. Don't stop sharing your truth. Continue to trust God and believe in His plans for you. Pusher, we are healing with you. We see you.
Hey, it is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, really say that thing out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. Did you get your copy of It Takes One to Know One workbook and journal when people pusher? No. Well, we got another one. Remember me. Go over to Pusher Light on. We're gonna do something different on this evening. Go over to pusherlife.org and go get your copy of Remember Me. And if you got your copy of It Takes One to Know One and you went through the workbook and journal, you will want to get this new drop. I'm telling you. It Takes One to Know One gave you little pieces of my journey while incarcerated, but Remember Me gives you the tea. Many people had many questions about It Takes One to Know One workbook and journal. Well, the answer to a lot of your questions or curiosity, you can find that in Remember Me. So I need you to get your copy. Your girl is out here doing it. And I appreciate your support. We definitely dropped on yesterday. And shout outs to Cynthia Brown, who has her copy already. The first one. Look at that. Don't be jealous. Order your copy today. I see you all in the chat. Hey, Aunt Etta, good evening. Hey, Lori, thank you for she says, hey, sis in love. I love when she says that. Lori, all the way from the ATL. Yes. Hey, Dominique, I miss you too. I really do. But duty calls. I will see you next week. But if you need me, you have my number. I have been working outside of the office. It definitely does my heart good to know that my presence is missed. So thank you for that. Hey, Mrs. Prince. Mrs. Prince is in the building and said, done and done. Congratulations. Thank you. And shout out once again to Global Butterfly Effects for doing it again for your girl. Yes. Remember me. I need you to cop. Come on, I'm the people pusher, so I'm pushing you to go get your dose. Go get the information. It is waiting for you. Remember me. And we will talk about it once you get it, because I know you're going to have a lot more questions, a lot more curiosity. But you will understand why I am the way that I am and why this journey is so important to me. I didn't get here just by happenstance. I fought myself, fought with myself, and fought for myself to be in this very moment, even right now in this hour. And so I definitely will. I want to encourage you to go get your copy and tell other people about it. I know I probably didn't do a good job with It Takes One to Know One. I could have did better, and I'm doing better. But with this, I want you to go get your copy, and I don't want you to be selfish. I want you to tell people about it. I want you to encourage other people to get It Takes One to Know One. It's only $15. We invest in so much, and so I'm asking you on tonight to get your phones out. This is the collection plate. Hey, lock the doors. This is the lock the door episode. It is. So I want you to get your copy. And another thing that I want to mention before we move on is, if you have not taken the pledge, healing 1 million people, one person at a time, all jokes aside, I want you to go over to pusherlife.org And I want you to take the pledge. You're not taking the pledge for me. It's not for me. It's for you, because you have chose to be a part of this community, because you chose to heal out loud, push forward with me. I want to encourage you to take the pledge. All you have to do is go over to PUS'HER.org. You will see the Healing 1 Million People link. And I want you to click it, and I want you to take the pledge. I want you to demonstrate outwardly your commitment to your own personal growth and development. We're not just doing this to be doing it. I want you to have something as a reminder for yourself, to yourself. We do everything for everybody, but when will we take time to be intentional with giving ourselves the tools that we share with other people? And so on tonight, I definitely encourage you to go get Remember Me. Yes, it's deep. Greater the pain, greater the passion. You know my saying. And so on tonight, I've decided to kind of I like to maximize every second of every minute of this hour. And the people that have shown up and that have shared recently, it's a lot of information. And so I feel like every now and then we just need to slow down and just take a breather, because it can get overwhelming for me anyway. And so it is important for me to exercise, the times when I just need to slow down for myself. My mental health is very important to me. And so doing this work isn't as easy. It's not cut out for everybody. You have to be self-aware. You have to know who you are and whose you are to be able to show up, to be the light, to be an example for people, because that's all I'm doing. It's nothing, deep. It's not a secret. I'm just working on me, and I'm deciding to work on me out loud, with the intent to show people, give people something to look at, something to see, and not necessarily just a bunch of words. And so I decided to take my journey, my healing journey, and just no longer hide in my own nest and expose, my journey, because that's how I learned. And because that's how I learned, I'm definitely here to be honest and be my most authentic self whenever I have your attention. And I'm intentional about the men and women that I bring on this platform. And I want you all to know there has been people contacting me, but not the way that I've instructed. And so it got to be decency and order. And so again, I will remind everybody, if you would like to book me for liturgical dance, for empowerment workshops, or one-on-one coaching, you have to go to PUSHERLife.org. Do not feel slighted in your journey, because I'm trying to teach you and show you out loud that do not give people direct access to you. You have to learn how to safeguard yourself. And what I mean by that, we have to put boundaries in place. We have to. Boundaries really isn't for other people. Boundaries is put in place to help us, to save us from ourselves. Indeed. And so I want you to understand that I don't take this hour lightly. I don't play with it. I am intentional, and I know why I do what I do out loud. And so I just thought on tonight that I would just slow down and kind of remind us of why we're here. And so on this evening, if you have any questions that you want to answer to, that's why I'm here tonight. A lot of people been pulling on me for the last couple of days, and I appreciate it. But when I do not have the capacity, understand, this is where we come at, so that we all can get it at the same time, because sometimes it's just too many people. I do go back into the chat and I do respond to those that have questions, those that tap in later. They do comment, and I do go back in individually and give them the response that I believe they deserve, because they took the time to respond. They took the time to comment. They took the time to even share it. And so I do see it even after we stop streaming live. And so I just want you all to know that I really do appreciate everyone that shows up when you can, and those that don't show up, and that gives me that phone call, gives me that text to encourage me, that helps me as well. I appreciate the fact that you are so vulnerable in this book, taking ownership for things we tend to hide and heal in shame. Thank you. And so, Miss Prince, I think you trying to push me in a direction I really wasn't trying to go in. But understand, because if you read It Takes One to Know One, you will definitely understand the depths of what I chose to share. I did not hide anything. And so, like Mrs. Prince just said in the comments, I did travel deep. And I traveled deep because I wrote these things while I was going through it. And as I reread it back to myself, I felt those emotions that I felt back then. And I probably connect with it because it is my real life experiences. Things that did once made me feel ashamed about myself. Things that I wanted to hide. Things that I did not want people to know about. And for me, I think it's so important to be on this journey, because if I don't heal out loud, I'm going to suffer in silence. And because I'm self-aware and I know that, that's why this is important for me, because I don't know who else has this same journey of suffering in silence for so long. And now you find yourself healing out loud intentionally, because that's the very thing that saves your life every day. Showing up and being honest with yourself, being intentional. It's not a one-time thing. I got to keep doing this thing every day. And it's not saying that my life is hard, because it's not. I love my life. But we can't ignore that unpleasantry shows up. We can't ignore that we don't live in a bubble, that we do have to interact with people. And because of that, it's important for me to understand me and accept all of me and know how to present me. And that is important. And not everybody is tuned in or tapped in with themselves to the degree where they are willing to go to that place, internal place that may be dark, that may stink, that have a stitch to it. Understand that when we snap at people and I used to for a long time use my cycle as an excuse to be snappy with people, to be short with people. Oh, I'm on my cycle. Leave me alone. Until I heard a sermon one time, and when I tell you she checked me, she was like, as women, we oftentimes use our menstrual as an excuse to be snappy and flippy with people, but we have self-control. You doing that because you choose to. That's the part of who you are. And when she said it like that, and I'm like, wow, wait a minute, I do have self-control. And so from that point on, I stopped using that as an excuse and realized that I needed to do something about that, because I'm choosing to be snappy. I'm choosing to be sarcastic. I'm choosing to mishandle my words when I'm talking to people when I don't feel like it. See, I go to that place where I'm honest. Or there's a time when in my ego that I was so arrogant that I believed that I was untouchable. And I'm talking about in prison. There was a time where my ego ran the show. And every now and then something would happen to knock me back down to let me know that I'm still in prison. I ain't home. I appreciate the mentality of feeling like you free, but come on, sis. You know better than the person that you sleep over top of. Your toilet and your sink and your kitchen and your living room is in one cubicle. Come on, sis. See, I can talk about that. I can expose that. Because that was me. That was my thinking. And because I'm healed and I've forgiven myself and I went through the process because I exposed it to myself. And I confronted that thing. Who do you want to be? Is this how you want people to see you? Do you want people to misunderstand you? Then check yourself. See, I have real life experiences where I know what the transformation feels like from being arrogant to being humble. See, I'm gonna share one thing that ain't in the book, but I'm going to give you something, or it might be, I don't know. It might be. Hold on. So I'm gonna give you a little piece. I shared this earlier today. I've been, for the last 2 days, I've been doing re-entry conferences, and I've just been sharing, my experiences. I said this, shared this today with someone. I said, I had 2 experiences in prison where it could have took me out. I'm preparing for parole and I want to go home. And when you are dealing with crabs in a barrel, we have this mentality that I'm going to do whatever I can do to take away your good because I want you to be in this holding pattern. And so you do have people that will go out of their way to disrupt your movement from going forward. And so the first experience was a young lady spit on me. I can talk about it now because I'm healed. I'm healed and I'm forgiven. I failed this test. I retaliated. Oh yeah, I did. Because I didn't understand it. And I'm like, oh, that is the dirtiest thing that you can ever do to someone. You're talking about humiliated, and I'm already in a conditions where they are. If I'm getting a visit and I'm on my cycle, you talking about humiliation, but you spit on me. I failed that test. I can talk about it because they can't give me an infraction about it. I failed that test. I'm not going to go into no details, but no, I failed. But let me tell you how God covered me in this. When they did the investigations or whatever, because I ain't saying nothing. It just is what it is. Of course, people told, but I'm not going to say nothing. They run an investigation, run the cameras back. And how about they didn't see me doing anything? And I know I was guilty and I was scared because I thought they was going to lock me up because I know I was guilty. So God dealt with me in that and showed me how he covered me, and I didn't deserve to because I was just as guilty as the person who caused harm to me. I wish I can say that I took heed to that. Oh yeah, I can. So I get over that. The same person. Now I didn't went up for parole. I didn't make it. And I kind of spiraled emotionally. I was disappointed. I was ready, and everybody was ready. Everybody. But I walked out of that room with my head down, feeling like hopeless all over again. And then I go to my sacred place and I go cry and I go whine, and they let me use the phone. I make a phone call and the conversation isn't what I want to hear in that moment. And I, like the kids say, I crash out. But in that, I found myself back in a dark, dark, dark place. Internally, though, it wasn't outwardly, it was internally. People didn't know. People couldn't see it unless I shared it, unless I talked about it. It was people around me, and they did not know that in the inside, I wanted to die because I felt that hopeless. And every day, I would force myself to get up and get active. Every day, regardless of how I felt. And in that dark place, and even though I'm pushing forward and it don't feel good, it happened again. The same person. And this time, she brought it from my soul. Outside, in front of everybody. I guess she like, I ain't gonna get it no more in no secluded place because this lady is crazy. So she tried me on a compound. I will never forget this. The same person. But this time, I didn't react. I responded. Initially, I was paralyzed because I wanted to get active, but I couldn't. My body just froze on the compound. And the side of my face is wet. No exaggeration. And then eventually, it just felt like everybody just froze and the compound became silent. No exaggeration. And then eventually, I was able to get my feet to move, and I just began to walk. I walked up the compound. Nobody says anything to me because everybody knows me. They already know my movement. They trust me. And I opened the chaplain's door and just collapsed. I got saliva dripping from my face, in my dreads. And I can't even remember all the people that was in the room. I didn't even care. I just opened the door. And everybody in there just grabbed me and held me, and they began to pray for me. They began to clean my face. They were crying with me. They cleaned me off. Nobody asked me anything. After they prayed and as they were cleaning, we all just sat in silence for a minute. And then I began to speak. And the only thing I said in that moment, but God, understand God was there with me. My relationship with God was cultivating. He was teaching me. Now, I don't know if you find yourself in that situation, how you would respond. But if you ask me, where's that young lady today? I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you about some hardships. All is forgiven. If I see her today or tomorrow, why? Because my heart is filled with mercy. And because today, because I'm self-aware, I understand that you were hurting. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know how I will respond. I gotta be honest. I'm telling you what I've been through. I don't know if I will continue to pass the test. So don't try me, please. I'm humbled. And there is a thing, I'm clothed in humility, but please don't. I'm like Kendrick Lamar. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show them. But I understand what truth, how truth can set you free. And what my arrogant self, what my self-centered self, What God has shown me and prepared me for was greater than a test. God showed me that I had free will and I make the decisions for myself. That's why when I show up, I examine my intentions. That's why I don't have conversations with everybody. That's why I don't have a lot of people in my space. That's why I'm not quick to say you're my friend. Just because you know my name. Because I want you to get to know me. Because when you get to know me, you learn my triggers. The more self-aware I become more honest. I want you to know my triggers because I don't want you to make the same mistake as somebody else in my past that hurt me because I was remaining silent. It's important for me to get this information out here because I don't want people to continue to suffer in silence. Your past doesn't determine your future. It really doesn't. I'm living that out loud with the hope that I can give somebody else hope. It's some stuff that I've been through that will help you understand when I say greater the pain, greater the passion. Why when I only speak when I got something to say? Why? Because I've been through something and I don't want to waste my words. Because when I speak, I want you to hear my heart. I don't push people just to push them. It takes energy. And sometimes I don't feel like it. But as you learn about me, I don't operate in my emotions. But I experience a whole lot of them, and they are intense. I've learned, don't give that to everybody because everybody don't know how to handle that. And so everybody doesn't get the privilege to see that part of my vulnerability. If you did, that means you know what to do with it. You know how to handle it because you know how to handle your own. You know what to do with your own. That's how we protect one another. That's the community we are building because that is the only way we can heal out loud. And so when I encourage you to take the pledge, when I'm telling you to get your copy, I'm not saying it because I think it sounds cute, even though my intro is fly. Y'all got to give me my props. Let me go in the chat. Let me calm down. What fruit are we putting out? Is it the fruit of the Spirit? Wow. Because from what I learned, God is a fruit inspector. I said it earlier today. It's not about the accolades. It is not about the rewards. It is not about that. I appreciate it. And Lord knows the validation is long overdue. My heart long for somebody to just see me and hear me. And so I appreciate it. But understand, I don't want you to even take my word for it. I want you to examine my life. And if I'm speaking and I'm not doing anything for you, then why are we here? With the intent to produce fruit. I only sit under people who produce fruit. I only look to speak on fertile ground because with fertile ground, I know there's growth coming in that. I told somebody earlier today, there is a difference from helping people to supporting people. And someone like me, you got to pick what side you're going to be on. Because I don't want everybody's help. Because when you help people, you're doing what you want to do. But when you support people, you are finding out what they need, what they want, and you are aiding to that. Those are the kind of people I look for when I am looking for assistance and help. And that's what I mean when I say I don't give my vulnerability to everybody. So when I come here, I want you to know when I show up, even when I don't feel like it, no, it's with purpose. My healing is dependent upon it. I need you to know that I do not take your time for granted. I appreciate it because I know time is something that you can't get back. So I'm not going to waste your time. He is merciful. Yeah. So why not thrive to be merciful? If God is merciful, why do something different than that? Forgive. Stop taking it personal. And I know what I shared, it was like, ooh. And I know somebody in the chat and clutch their pearls. Like, I don't know. But understand, I'm willing to tell the truth, the degrading truth. The truth that don't make me look good, that don't make me sound popular. I'm willing to do that to save a soul. I'm willing to expose those shameful experiences to help somebody get out of the mud. If that's what it takes to push somebody, I'm willing to put my life on the line. And when I say put my life on the line, that's what I mean. Healing out loud. Because once you say it, you can't take it back. It's out there. I didn't put my stuff out there. You got to get it. I'm telling you. I laid myself on the line. Why? Because I have nothing to hide. I am whole, stable, and solid. I am healed. Do things still come up and bother me? Yes, it do. But trust me, God would not have allowed me to put it out there if he didn't think that I was right. I don't do anything without that guidance, without that knowing, without that certainty. And the people that you be around got to complement that. We want to be everywhere and everything, and we're choosing people and wondering why relationships don't work. Because you choosing. Take a step back. I gave y'all a challenge last week, and I'm here to collect. I want to know who did the challenge. How that song said, I would have failed that test too, sis. I shared that with him. That's the same response that he gave me too. Perfect illustration of how comes and picks us up, how God comes and picks us up. Yes, I'm trying to tell you. But sometimes I think it's important for me to let people that don't know to let people know that God showed up in that place. God met me right there. So what is your problem? What is the difficulty in meeting people right where they are if God met me right where I was at? It don't make sense to me. And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to myself. This is how I check myself. This is how I expose myself. This is what helps keep me humbled. I definitely needed this today. Me too. Me too. I'm telling you, y'all, what y'all can't see is the places that my feet. I be glad when my sister come through, when my big sister come through, when she come through, because I'm definitely boots on the ground for sure, and look cute while I'm doing it. I'm trying to tell you, snotting and crying and still look pretty. Who said that couldn't be done? But no, all jokes aside, when you don't see me, I'm still doing this kind of work. It's just not right here with you. This hour is just for us to kind of tap in and bring other people in. Once we are revved up and once we are doing the work and it's working for us, now it's our responsibility to bring somebody. We're building community. This is how we heal out loud. This is why I'm encouraging you to take the pledge. My desire, let me tell you why this pledge is so important to me. My desire is So one day, and I know God is going to honor this because now I'm saying it out loud. A few people know this. When I was in prison, I had a vision. And this vision was 1,000,000 people from all walks of life and professions, therapists, preachers, evangelists, Muslims, nurses, doctors, social workers. It was 1,000,000 people mixed up with people who were lost, who were wounded, who were broken. This was in my vision. And that just didn't know that there were families that wanted that family unity restored. There were teenagers who just didn't have a clue. And I'm telling you, and in this vision, what happened was all those people with all those different skills, not positions, skills, begin to freely use those skills. And anybody that they seen that looked like they needed something from them, they offered it to them in that moment. In that moment, this was in my vision. And so what I did was I was so foolish to think, yes, don't forget to get your copy of Remember Me. Take off. Yes, taking off. We want to push this. I want you to help me push this. I really do. And I don't want you to just get it. I want you to read it and digest it. It will help you get to know me on a whole different level, but it will push you to get to know yourself on a whole different level. And so we're going to push this like we've never pushed anything, because this is important. And I believe that this journey from It Takes One to Know One to Remember Me will be the catalyst to get this done. And so, and to make this vision come alive. Even though I seen the vision, I didn't see the process. That's where I'm going at. Just stay with me. Even though I seen the vision clear as day, and I even wrote it out so I wouldn't forget it. Even though, as you see, I'm not relying on paper, but some things you just need when it's so vivid and clear. You want to write it out, because 10 years is what, decade later. I'm quite sure I didn't mention everything, or I know I left something out. Understand that I trust God so much that I'm trusting that everybody that shows up, that's supposed to show up, everybody that takes the pledge will take the pledge in his time. My part is to encourage you to take the pledge, to go over to PUS'HER.org. Hit that healing 1,000,000 people. Don't take for granted just because you know me. Don't take for granted that just because we may have a relationship or we're getting to know each other through this particular community. Don't take that for granted. Honor what you are doing, because you are it's you that creates the community. I can't do it by myself. I dare not take credit. When I show up, I got an army of people with me. You might not see them. The day I showed up for the first time by myself at a conference, for the first time, I didn't have nobody meeting me there. And guess what? For the first time, I walked in there, in that building, knowing that I belonged there. For the first time. And I began to have conversations with people. These things I normally don't do, out of fear. And so for 2 days, I've been talking and meeting people, exchanging numbers and all of that. I'm like, I had to tell V, I know you proud of me, girl. It took a lot to get me to push me. This lady pushes me. Put me in these rooms, and I'm like, lady. But for her to trust me enough to allow me to have this experience is a big deal for me. So I'm saying the things that you bring to people's lives, don't take that lightly. It's a gift because you're giving it away freely. You just naturally being you to the person you're supposed to be that to. Don't take that lightly. I gotta keep saying that because I don't want us to feel like we just showing up every week just to be showing up. No, we could be doing something else. No, we come here to put that work in. We come here to help people that want the help, that's going through their own healing process. We show up, we encourage them, we do our best, even through the chat, to empower them. We show them that we are present because sometimes all a person needs is for somebody to listen. Just to listen. We talk so much. I got to remind us, practice your right to remain silent. You want to support people, listen to them. And in order, how you know you listening to them? Because you can hear what they're not saying. That's how you know you're listening. And then once you hear what they're not saying, you're able to articulate it back to them in the way in which they understand it, as if it was their own words. Because they don't know how to. But we're so impatient with people. But we want people to be patient with us. That make sense. See, these are the type of things that I talk about because I'm healed. So proud of you. You're not only a client, but the president. I'm going to get High Def Tone. I'm going to summon him. I don't know what I got to do, but I'm going to get him on here. I'm trying to tell you because this is the machine behind me. You got to know it. You got to know it. This is the well-oiled machine that is my career coach, but not only my career coach, but my brother. And I want you to meet the man. I don't want you to meet the workforce coach. I want you to meet the man. I want you to get to know him because it is so much to him. And I'm at a place in my life now where I don't want to gatekeep the people in my lives that mean so much to me. I don't want to hold them hostage. I don't want to be selfish because if they did it for me, I can imagine the many people, if I just give them the opportunity, that whose lives can just change. I'm telling you. So I'm in that place where we're talking about humility, where I am sharing but I'm strategic because I'm overprotective of the people that are in my life. But nonetheless, you will soon get to hear the man that I always talk about, the music that I always play. You will get to hear from him. And I'm saying it because I want to put him on the spot and I want to make him feel bad so he could be like, come on, sis, let's go. Let's get it in. So you in the chat, I need y'all to push him. Every time you see him in the chat, I need you to be like, what's up, bro? When you coming? Apply that pressure. See, we create a community of pushers. So let's push inside the chat. And the chat is coming up. I gotta say that I appreciate everyone in the chat who has so far have exposed themselves, that have came so the people can get to know you. It's one thing to talk about a person and how special they are, but it's another thing when you get to experience how special they are. See, I'm growing. Can't you tell? The more we do this, the more I'm growing and I'm learning that I have to stop being a child and go ahead and be secure in my place and know that what's for me is for me. I get it. I got it. I'm grown up today. But this is, I believe we're just having a light, heavy conversation because it's important to me to help you understand every now and then that we want to be healed. We want to be healthy. We want to be free to choose for ourselves. And we want to be happy in everything that we do. No matter what job you have, no matter what it is, your profession, or no matter what it is, your hobbies, make sure that you examine the intent of your heart and make sure that it's something that you will be passionate about. Make sure that it complements, your desires, is lined up. You don't want to take yourself outside of your lane, your will. remember, the plan is not to harm us, it's to prosper us. We should not be stressed out in the stuff that we're doing. Now, granted, I know where I'm at in the people business, it does happen, but you know what to do with that, because you have that emotional intelligence, that maturity. You know what to do with that. It doesn't belong to you. And so you do what you need to do, and then you bounce back. Why? Because as community leaders, especially those of us that are public figures, we don't have that luxury of staying upset. We don't have that luxury of not forgiving. We don't have that luxury of not being rational. We don't have that luxury. Why? Because somebody else's health, somebody else's healing, somebody else's well-being is dependent upon the decisions that we make. The more time that we spend, those that are self-aware, those that know, those people, because it's you that people are reaching for, and they don't know that yet. It's people who need from you. They just ain't got to you yet. But those that are around you, as long as you continue to stay focused and do what you have to do for you, self-care is important. I'm learning the more I wake up and do this, I am learning, through experience, how important self-care is. Yeah, we talk about it, we do workshops about it, but sometimes, especially for me, I gotta experience some things to really say, oh yeah, and begin to really actualize it as a way of life. And remember me, it gives you those type of steps. And so I'm just exposing a little bit of where I'm at to show you that I'm not stopping. The same person that fought to get to this place is the same person who still uses the same steps and still uses the same tool because it works for me. This is what keeps me whole. This is what keeps me focused. This is what keeps me locked in. And because I realize that, I'm committed to it. I am. And so who did the challenge last week, or did y'all forget about it? And I'm not reminding y'all what the challenge was. But I challenged y'all last week, and I'm here to collect. I want to know if you did the challenge. So don't get quiet in the chat. Don't get quiet. We at the end. I don't see y'all responding. So y'all must didn't do the challenge. Oh, y'all playing with me tonight. Y'all are playing with me. So somebody tell me the truth. Did we forget the challenge? I don't see y'all responding. Did we forget the challenge? Did we? Oh, y'all are playing with me. You wasn't here was you here last week? Did you, or was it the week before? Was you here last week? Just wink your eyes. Send me a winking emoji to let me know if you was here last week. I forgot the instructions. Thank you, Brandy. See, that's the first step to sobriety. I forgot the instructions. Thank you for that honesty. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. So I am moving on. All right. So before we end, because we got a couple minutes left, If you already got your copy or if you ordered your copy, go in the chat and let me know that you got your copy or that you're waiting for your copy. Let me know in the chat. Pump me up. I don't need no beat. Pump your bestie up. That's what we doing in the chat. We don't need a beat. I see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Shout outs again to Miss Cynthia Brown, who was the first person that received her copy. Shout out to her. Please go to info@pusherlife.org to let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions about it, if you need clarity, go to info@pusherlife.org and let me know, and we will answer your questions as best as we can. And that's for anybody, even if you have not gotten your copy, as you are digesting it. If you have any questions that you want to know, you can go to info@pusherlife.org. Do not call me asking me questions. And if you know me, you know I live my life on my calendar and I have a cutoff point. We talk about self-care and boundaries. I do have a cutoff point, and I am learning, as I am learning, how to operate in decency and order and in a standard. We have to honor each other's boundaries and wishes. It's just flat out. Y'all can thank my personal success coaches and my career coach for that. And guess what? It was a joke though. It was a joke, but it felt good saying it. I'm putting you out there, V. V gonna say, I forgot what she asked me, but whatever she asked me had something to do with Pusher. And I said, ma'am, no, she requested somebody to be on a show and a topic. And I said, well, ma'am, go to info and Pusher Lights Out. I said, ma'am, go to pusherlife.org and put in your request. Yo, when I tell you she laughed at me, it was so hilarious, but it felt good saying it. And it gives me the courage to communicate my boundaries. But there are some people, and you know who you are, who can pick up the phone and call me, and I definitely will come through. But it's just about protecting, and this is how we all should be. You have to protect yourself from yourself, because we will find ourselves back in that pattern of saying yes, 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 when we should be saying no, no, no. And so I'm putting this out there in hopes that it will encourage you to remain committed to your yes and to your no, whatever that is. And I'm telling you, when you're doing it, it ain't gonna feel good. It's not. Especially when you are so used to pleasing people and ignoring yourself, it's not going to feel good. But I'm telling you, it will pay off in the long run, because what you are doing is also teaching people how to handle you. And as you teach people how to handle you, they begin to adopt some of the things that you are sharing in your personal life. Understand that everybody in my life, I watch them intentionally. I listen to them keenly. I do, because I in order for us to have an active relationship, see, I want to be a participant. I don't want to be a spectator in nobody's life. I want to be a participant. And so I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to listen to how you react and how you respond. Because for one, I used to have this misconception of leaders, that leaders can't make mistakes. Preachers and leaders and people that you esteem, they is almost my view, my perception was sort of like this perfect people. And I've learned the hard way that there is not one perfect person, human being. We all are flawed. And so that's how we practice giving each other grace and mercy, when we can look through the lenses, through the spiritual lenses that was given to us. We can operate from a different place other than our trauma. and our toxicity. And so I hope on tonight, I know you probably was expecting to see somebody but surprise. No, it's just little old me. I want to encourage you to go over to pusherlife.org, get It Takes One to Know One, and do the workbook and journal. If it has blessed your life, then I encourage you to get it, to encourage other people to get the workbook and journal. I was listening to a guy today, and then we're going to close, and so many people invest in him, in his workbook and journal, and it's all over the globe. And I was intrigued by the responses that he was getting as he was sharing his story. And then and the room was packed. And then when it came for speaking about women and reentry, the both sets, we only had one man. And I was like, wow. But it reminded me why this work is so important for me, why I do what I do, and I show up the way that I show up in the capacity, and I pick, choosing the people that is in my space, because it's times like that I can rely on them people even when they are not with me. I can remember something that they have shared with me in the moment of going through. And that is what pushes me. That's what gives me the courage. I'm not just doing this on my own. It's not a switch. I'm really, really tapped in, and I'm really thinking about, morning motivation, the tools that I learned from there. There's times throughout my day that I have to reflect back on something that somebody said to help me get through this particular moment or this particular experience. So I'm saying everybody plays a big responsibility in this, in each other's lives, no, whether you want the responsibility or not. And so I want to encourage you to encourage other people to get It Takes One to Know One workbook and journal. And while you're doing that, I also want you to help me push Remember Me. I want to push this, and this will start our initiative. This will give us the momentum that we need, and it will cause people to tap in and wake up. What you don't know is I have invited a few people to tap in on this evening, and hopefully they are watching or was watching. I definitely appreciate your attention, and I hope that after to this evening that you will come back. And I don't mind having you back, but you got to go to pusherlife.org and let me know that you want to be a part of the community and you have something to share that will provoke us to think, and that will give us the courage to walk in our healing. So as we push forward, I want you, yes, get your copy of Remember Me, and don't be afraid to ask me questions. Don't be afraid. You don't have to try to figure it out on your own. I put it out there for this reason, so that we can have conversations, and so that you can learn how to. This is a how to live out loud without blame, shame, and guilt, and how to honor your emotions and your past trauma, how to honor that, because it has value, how to use your pain. I say it all the time, greater the pain, greater the passion. And that's why I am your pusher. And so as always, I appreciate you for showing up. I appreciate you for tapping in. I appreciate you for chatting with me. And giving me your attention. I hope on this evening that I said something that was a blessing and that can help you, that can help you think differently about something, about your interactions, or how you view people, or even yourself. I pray that something on this evening inspired you, because I am a woman that is inspired, and I speak through that inspiration that is in me. That gift that everybody looks for. And I'm saying the gift is inside of you. The gift is inside of you. You do not have to look outside of yourself. It is not a thing. It is not something that you can do. It is something that help you do what you do. That is the gift. We take many classes, and I'm going to go on my rant, but I'm going to calm down. I'm going to bring it back in. But just understand, the gift that is in you is yours. All you have to do is tap in. And so whatever your dream is, whatever it is that you want to do, I don't care if it's a hobby, you want to bungee jump, you want to, whatever it is that you want to do, you want to go away, whatever it is, you do it. Why? Because you only got 24 hours out of a day. So if you can envision, if you can see yourself, you can write it. It is yours for the taking. Do not cheat yourself out of living. Life is not just about struggling. Life is not about just ups and downs. Life is about joy and being able to experience that joy. Because understand, I love my life today. I love it here. I love it on this side. And I love you. And it is nothing. I'm telling you, it is nothing that you can do about. It is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. For whatever, backwards never. No, really say that thing out loud. For whatever, backwards never. Have you gotten your copy of It Takes One to Know One workbook and journal and people pusher? No, then travel over to pusherlife.org, go to the author's page, and you will find It Takes One to Know One and People Pusher. Come tap in.